I'm jealous of people who like wrestling. I'm jealous of their enjoyment of the sport or of the I don't know if you I don't think you can call it a sport of the entertainment because there is so much joy in that can be derived from wrestling. I know because I used to be a wrestling fan. I was probably one of the biggest wrestling fans. I never missed any pay per view. I never missed any WrestleMania, any SummerSlam. I never missed Raw. And I grew up in a place whereby we got wrestling maybe like 2 weeks after it was taped. We never watched wrestling live the way people are watching it now. And I used to hunt for wrestling DVDs, CDs, those anything to do with wrestling, I would just buy. How much of a fan I was. And then social media came. When social media came, it did something weird to a lot of wrestling fans. It broke what is called kayfabe. Kayfabe is what is kayfabe anyway? Kayfabe is breaking kayfabe is exposing the fakeness, fakeness of wrestling. It's giving away that magic that is there, the insinuation of reality that they have built. Now, the insiders and most wrestling fans nowadays know that it's not real. It's not. It's not a sport in the way that it's like a theater. It's like they took real wrestling and real fighting and just scripted it, and then made it into like a pageant, like a theater, like a show, and it's entertaining still, but for me, that's when I stopped watching it because I knew at the back of my mind that it wasn't real, right? I knew that it was somehow scripted, but I didn't want to really know to the point of it creating or to it affecting my belief. You know that's suspension of belief because it's like watching a movie. You know that Superman can fly, but you don't want someone telling you, "Oh well, come on, Superman can't fly. How is he flying? What kind of propulsion system is in his body? Is he using anti gravity? Is he using some kind of invisible rocket strapped to his chest? Why is he flying? Can you explain to me?" It's like what Neil deGrasse Tyson does to the movies. He kind of like ruins movies. A lot of people don't like him for that because they feel like you have to have that suspension of belief and just stop thinking, stop asking questions in order to enjoy the movie. So this is what happened to me with wrestling. There was so much information out there about the inner workings of the wrestling business that I found it impossible to continue that suspension of belief. And it was one of the it was kind of sad because it was something I really liked. I grew up with it. My favorite wrestlers were Goldberg, Hulk Hogan, all those big figures. They were a big part of my enjoyment of entertainment. So as I grew up, I was like, why am I still watching this? In the same way that I stopped watching cartoons. I used to love cartoons as a kid, but you outgrow them. You end up no longer enjoying. I can watch maybe a well-made cartoon movie like Toy Story, and sometimes I would have to watch it with a kid for me to really enjoy it. I can't watch it alone. So that being said, it it, it emphasizes the bigger point of ignorance being bliss, and life is so much more enjoyable when you don't know some things. There are a lot of things that are hidden from people, and if they knew the inner workings of how those things work, people would boycott or be depressed. For instance, a lot of people suggest that the government hides the existence of UFOs because it would be too much to handle for the population. I don't know how true that is, but that's one of the things that apparently are being hidden from the people. And also, what we are noticing these days is the amount of proposed democracy that uh, actually exists in the world. We we actually don't have democracy, and a lot of people don't understand that. People think that they can go and vote, and their vote counts. Actually, I don't think it does. An argument can be made that in most of the countries, especially the most influential countries like America and a lot of European countries, democracy is controlled, elections are controlled by the rich. The richer you are, the more voting power you have. If you're just a minimum wage worker with one vote, you don't really hold as much weight in the ballot box as someone like Elon Musk, who can contribute $300 million into the election and impose his will and actually be appointed into the government to actually get into the nitty gritties of the government departments that he wants to affect. You look at people like Miriam Adelson, who is the wife of the late Sheldon Adelson, who contributed, I think, almost $200 million to the election of Donald Trump so that she can affect the foreign policy of the United States and make it uh, more compassionate to the Israeli cause, and so on and so on. We can talk about how the defense contractors lobby for wars. The defense contractors like Lockheed Martin, they want a warmonger as a president. So we are seeing the bombing of kids, elementary schools. We are seeing the bombings ramp up to a level we have not seen in years because the defense contractors want the bombs to drop. They want their planes to fly. Why? Because it depletes the government stocks in many countries. And what does that do? Those stocks need to be refilled. And how are they refilled? Through $200 billion contracts requested by the government, as is being done as we speak. So this happens not only in America. It's more prominent in America because America is at the forefront of everything, but it happens throughout the world in different shapes and sizes of countries. So what I'm saying is that all of these things have been hidden, and people have lived under an illusion, a kayfabe, as I was living under for a time or watching wrestling, and people have been enjoying that illusion because it's kind of like a utopia, like a drug induced haze of misinformation, whereby you are told to believe one thing and the truth is actually different from what uh, is happening. It's kind of like the Matrix, whereby the people were lulled by the machines, and until some rebels decided to give the people the blue pill or the red pill, and the red pill was to give you a choice to step out of your stupor and see the grim reality of the world as it was, or choose to stay asleep. And I don't know if people would want to know, because even in the movie Matrix, there was a gentleman called Cypher who actually asked to be put back into the Matrix because he could not handle the grim reality of the world. The world was too depressing for him, so he wanted to be lulled. So there is an argument some people make that people need to be to be fooled, to be told lies for their own sake. In the same way that you tell a child Santa Claus exists, in the same way that you tell a child a different version of how sexual reproduction works by telling them the birds and the bees story. So people, the government gives us this fake version of reality in order to lull us. So the question is, aren't we supposed to at least be given a choice in the same way that the choice was given in the Matrix, to at least know, to be asked to say, okay, do you really want to know the truth? Are you sure you're ready for the truth? Because as it is, it seems like people were never given the choice to at least uh, choose for themselves that, okay, I want to stay without knowing, or I I need to know. I can't stay living in a lie. So I don't know. It's just something I think about when I watch clips of wrestling, because currently I do get pulled back sometimes and get intrigued by the new characters in wrestling. I've been intrigued by Obafemi, the new one, and a lot of the new kids coming up, and I'm like, oh wow, this should be nice. It seems like it would be nice for someone who didn't know. It would be nice for the new kids to enjoy not knowing what is happening at the back. But, you know, they probably should enjoy it while it lasts.